whatever sells. Good morning. Let's start in butterfly. So you have your heels 2 hand lengths away from your groin. And the first thing we're going to do this morning is grab onto your shins and just reach and lift your chest up, look up. And then with your next exhale, bring your chin to your chest and softly start to roll down, letting your head come towards your feet. And the first part of the posture, you can wiggle and, check out your toes, make sure they're all okay. Your nail polish is good. Fiddle around. And then, once you've made all those little adjustments to suit your physical body, start to relax into the pose. Relaxing as many muscles as you can. So if I see your knuckles turning white, it looks like you're pulling too hard. Bless you all. And once you've found the right shape and have become still, maybe even soft on purpose, then the practice is just staying there. And on one layer, we're staying there with our body, in the shape, trying to be so passive in our body that we can even feel the tug of gravity. But you can invite that stillness further in. Can you find a rhythm to your breath? An unhurried, natural rhythm. Or you can even do a soft Ujjayi breath. Can you draw that stillness even deeper and bring it to your feelings? Bring it to your heart. Or maybe invite the stillness into your thinking, trusting that all of your challenges and problems will be there after class, waiting for you if you really need them. Imagine you can relax your temples at the side of your head. And before we move out of this pose, just take a couple moments and notice if there is a wish you have. If you could receive divine guidance on something, what would that be? And you can breathe in your challenge, your hardship, imagination-wise. And then with your exhale, just breathe out what you want to see more of. Especially with questions aimed at the divine. You can ask them once and let them go. And as Rilke says, maybe you will live into the answers. Inhale, roll up. And bring your elbows back behind you. If it's okay for your neck, you can let your head drop back, cradled by your trapezius muscles. If it's too much, you can just keep your chin towards your chest, wiggling your elbows a little closer together to pop your chest up. And if it's still too much, you can relax your upper body down to the ground already. We're going to go there soon, but not right away. So I find one of the practices that I have with yoga is really refining my body to be, or my being really, to be much more of a sanctuary, a place that I can kind of go to and have safety there, have peace. And you notice that when our body is injured or you're suffering physically in a particular way, that it can really draw our attention. But when our body is doing well and feeling strong, open, flexible, healthy, our attention doesn't dwell on how well we feel often. It goes somewhere else. We're freed up. So can your yoga mat become kind of a place that you can get energy from? Can your body become a place that you feel at home in? And can your practice be something that actually fuels and helps you become who you want to be? Allow your elbows just to slide out to the side and bring one hand to your heart and one hand to your belly. So you may have noticed in our practice we can emphasize different elements. Come on. Nice. If you can sneak back there. And we can wiggle around to adjust more if you need more space. So on the mat, off the mat, in the sanctuary of your space, out in the world. These two places, your heart and your guts, often go together. So in our practice today, let's focus on opening our heart and having the courage to go there. It's a little bit like guts and glory, guts and daring, guts and trying. But the whole purpose is like, can you actually love more? Can you open your heart? How much guts or courage do you have to allow that openness for you? All right, imagine your guts in glory, your guts in love, making a pact, and bring your hands together from your heart. And like you're a little sprout shooting up, stretch your arms straight up to the sun. And then lift up your feet and find that magical kind of familiar shape in between your feet. And then see if you can dive through it. Whee! Every day a little rebirth, just like sleep is our little death. So sit in easy pose, Sukhasana, or half lotus, full levitation, whatever you need. And feel that when you root down to the ground, you find more freedom and lightness to lift up. Bring your hands to heart center. Now lift your head as if you were looking out at the world, and then close your eyes. So let's see how our very unique and special ohms are going to sound today. Your participation is key. Empty your breath. Take a deep inhale. And just relax your hands down onto your knees, and just take a moment with your eyes closed, and just to yourself quietly think, am I working on having more courage or having more openness? Am I trying to find more of the sthira, the strength and the foundation, or the sukha, the lightness and expansion? They go together. So either way, you're in the right place. And then open your eyes and come up onto your hands and knees and come into tabletop. Now stretch your right leg back and just pulse a couple times with your toes on the ground, reaching your heel back, stretching out your calf. Now already pull your lower belly to your spine to take out the curve in your lower back, and just stretch your right leg up, and then to match it, reach your left arm forward. Try to stretch long. And then with your exhale, bring it back down. Stretch your left leg back, pulsing a couple times through your heel, trying to stretch your calf out. Pull in your lower belly. Lift up your left leg, stretch your right arm long. And then exhale, bring them down. Take a full inhale here. Then we're going to lift on our exhale. Lift your right leg, left arm. Inhale down. It's a little counterintuitive. Exhale up. Inhale down. Exhale up. Inhale down. Exhale up. 5 more on each side. Inhale down, exhale up. Switch sides in between. Sorry, that was not to confuse you. So we move with your breath, switching every time. So like we started. I lost count, so maybe you didn't. Try maybe a couple more. And then when you've come to balance, come down to all fours. Inhale, lift up your head, your heart, and your hips. Exhale, push the ground away, float your knees, pull your belly up. Inhale, head, heart, and hips. Exhale, push the ground away, belly up. Lift your knees if you want a little extra. And then inhale to a neutral spine. And then stretch your right leg back and lift it up. And this time you're going to reach back with your left hand and see if you can grab your ankle. Now, once you grabbed your ankle, flex your foot and actually stretch your chest forward, lifting your belly up, and then try to lift up with your foot. Noticing you don't want your left hip going out to the left, you want to pull it back to center. And then without just dropping your limbs, stretch them long, bring your left hand underneath your shoulder and spin your right foot behind your left toes. Stretch your arms apart. And then see if maybe you can balance on your bottom leg. And then take your, that's your right arm down your thigh. Bend your right knee and then see if you can grab on to the outside of your ankle or your foot. And try a little back bend here. Breathing is so cool. And then without losing it, stretch your limbs long first. And then exhale, come down into all fours. And just like a really sexy doggy, swing your hips side to side. Did I say doggy? Maybe donkey. Ever seen a sexy donkey? Okay, other side. So stretch your left leg back. Reach out with your right arm. Feel the length first. And then turn your thumb down to the ground and reach your right hand back and grab onto your left foot. Once you have the grip, you can kick into your hand and pull with your hand. And this makes your hand and foot go up and lift your chest to match. If you're wiggling a lot, concentrate on pulling your right hip in. Notice what your face is doing. Choose it. And then without just letting your limbs go splat, let go, stretch long, and then bring your right hand underneath your shoulder, spin your left foot behind your right toes, come into supported plank here, side plank, and then lift up your top leg. Maybe this is enough for you, or maybe you want to slide your left hand down your thigh and bend your left knee and grab onto your foot. Notice you have to kind of energetically push your hips a little bit forward to kick your foot back. So where's the stability and the strength, and where's the freedom in the pose? They always kind of work together. Beautiful. And then bring your hands back down. Wiggle around a little bit. Tuck your toes under and lift up to downward facing dog. Now bend your knees deeply and pull your sit bones up and back like you're trying to peel your sit bones to point straight up to the ceiling. And then lengthen your legs as much as you can. For a lot of us, we have to practice our downward facing dog with the knees slightly bent. Take a full inhale. Empty your breath, bend your knees, lift up your heels, and hop your feet in between your hands, and then lift up, halfway lift. Exhale, release, and bow down, let your head drop. Push down with your feet, and then rise all the way up to the sky. Stretch up tall. And then exhale, bring your hands to heart center, Samasthiti. And at the end of your exhale, drop your hands. Inhale, lift up, rise up. Exhale, bow down, let your head drop. Bending your knees, especially if your lower back is bugging you. Inhale, halfway lift, drag your chest forward, shoulders come away from your ears. And then step back to plank. Let's breathe here a little bit. So you want to get as much of your body helping you out as you can. Lift up in between your shoulder blades, pull your belly up, push your heels up and back. Reach your chest forward. Just your gaze is a couple, a foot in front of your yoga mat, a little bit in front of your yoga mat. Now, with your next inhale, move your whole body forward to the tippy toes, so you're nearly falling off them. And then exhale, moving through chaturanga all the way down to the ground. Flip your toes over, push all of your toenails into the ground, even your pinky toe that doesn't want to do anything, and lift up low cobra. Now, if cobra had arms and they were waving, what would they do? They'd be really short arms, I think. Beautiful. And then with your next exhale, come back onto your knees to downward facing dog. Keeping a nice bend in your knees in downward facing dog will really help you, especially first thing in the morning when we wake up and we're a little tight. Trying to breathe through your nose. And always take extra breaths rather than not enough breath. Inhale, lift up your heels. Exhale, bend your knees, empty your breath, look forward, and hop your feet in between your hands. Lift up, halfway lift. Exhale, release and bow down, let your head drop. Push down with your feet, rise up tall, lift up high. Look up in between your hands. And then exhale, samastitihi. Dropping your hands at the end of your exhale. Inhale, stretch high. Exhale, bow down. Inhale, halfway lift. Lots of heart. And then step back to plank. Now this time, engage as many muscles as you can again, and this time just inch forward and lower halfway down, chaturanga. Then inhale, come up to upward facing dog. Your thighs never even have to touch the ground, toenails on the ground. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, feel your hips pull up and back. Just in your downward facing dog, can you feel where's the freedom, where's the work? So notice when you work a little bit more with your legs and bend your knees and pay attention there, have them sit separated about hip distance apart, then your back can actually experience more space. Take another full inhale. Empty your breath, lift up your heels, bend your knees, and look in between your hands and float your feet forward while you're keeping your breath out. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release and bow down, let your head drop. Push down with your feet, rise up tall, lift up high. Exhale, samastitihi. Now bend your knees, drop your booty, inhale, Utkatasana. Just one breath this morning, I'm feeling generous. Exhale, bow down. Inhale, halfway lift. Walk or float, exhale, chaturanga or the ground. Inhale, upward facing dog or low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Inhale, stretch your right leg up to the sky. And then just play with your hip a little bit. So open and close your hip. So try to keep your leg straight and just do it a couple times. Yeah. And then square your hips and bend your knee and see if you can bring your knee all the way to your buttocks. Just try it out with your hips squared. Now inhale, extend your right leg, and with your exhale, bend your knee and bring your right knee to touch your left elbow. For 5, 4, 3, 2, lift it higher, and then lift up. Exhale, step your right foot to your right thumb, and bring your left knee down to the ground. Bring your hands up onto your right knee, and then just slide your left knee back a little bit further and see if you can sink more into your hips here. Now once you've sunk, engage your root lock and stretch your arms up. Hook your thumbs and just look up a little bit and start to work your hands a little bit behind your ears. Take another full inhale, feel your chest opening. And then exhale, bring your hands either side of your foot, tuck your left toes under. Take your right foot back quietly, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, stretch your left leg up to the sky and keep your leg extended at first and just try to see if you can open and close your hip with your leg straight. Excuse me. Thank you. And then with your hips squared, bend and straighten your knee a couple times. So like you're trying to kick your own butt. Like try to pull and effort your heel to your buttocks. Beautiful. Now inhale, extend your left leg. And with your exhale, bend your left knee and bring it to your right elbow. If that's too easy, feel free to lift it up higher. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, stretch your leg long. Exhale, step your left foot all the way forward to your left thumb. Right knee comes down to the ground. Lift up. So this intermediate place, Proposalasana. Maybe scoot your right knee back a little bit and let your hips sink down. Now this is a good place to just check in. Are you working on flexibility or are you working more on strength? And then inhale, lift up. And let's do a slightly different variation. Bring your hands behind your head, squeeze your elbows together, and make a little hammock for your head, and just hang your head back. You can squeeze your elbows more towards one another. Yeah. What does that support allow for you to experience? Where do you open more? With your next inhale, gently reach your arms up to the sky, and exhale, follow your breath all the way to chaturanga, taking your left foot back quietly. Inhale, upward facing dog or low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Allow your breath to come steady and keep reminding yourself to breathe through your mouth, your nose. You know, the other one. It takes a while for us to get it into the practice of our body. But it filters the air, it warms it up better. It will help increase the fire of your practice. Bend your knees, lift your heels, empty your breath all the way, and hop your feet in between your hands. Lift up, halfway lift. Exhale, release, and bow down. Bend your knees, drop your butt, inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, Samastitihi. Now inhale, Utkatasana, drop low. Now with your exhale, you're going to bring your hands to heart center, and we're just going to turn with the thoracic spine. It's the middle back. Now step your feet together. They're not touching. And really feel that you're pulling your left knee slightly back. Feel your shoulders dropping down. Weight in your heels. And then inhale back to center, and exhale, twist to your left-hand side. So you're really trying to aim to kind of twist in the middle of your back here. You can check where your hips are by looking at your knees. If your right knee crept forward, just pull it back. Notice how your hips adjust. Now inhale, Utkatasana, stretch your arms long just because it feels good, and with your exhale, bow forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Walk or float. Exhale, I love chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, stretch your right leg up to the sky. Exhale, bend your knee, let your hips spin open. Square your hip with your next inhale, and with your exhale, take your right knee to touch your left elbow. One breath. Inhale, stretch your leg long. Exhale, step your right foot all the way forward to your right thumb. Back heel stays lifted, and rise up, crescent lunge. Now with your exhale, just tap your back knee down to the ground. Inhale, straighten both of your legs. Exhale, tap. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, tap. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, tap. And this time, keep your front knee bent and just straighten your back leg. Reach through your fingertips. Now maybe find a little tuck of your tail, the length in your ribs. And with your next exhale, bring your hands to heart center. And just a little twist to your right. So you're moving from the thoracic spine. Notice if you're like getting like the pissed off yogi face. You can do something about it. Beautiful. Take a full inhale here. Then exhale, expand to warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior. And exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, stretch your left leg up to the sky. Exhale, bend your knee, let your hips spin open, your shoulders still squared. Inhale, re-square your hips, and then with your exhale, take your left knee to touch your right elbow. Inhale, stretch your left leg long. Exhale, step your left foot all the way to your left thumb. Rise up, crescent lunge. With your exhale, tap your back knee down. Did we do 4? Inhale, stretch up, both your legs long. Exhale, tap. Straighten both your legs. Exhale, tap. Straighten both your legs. Exhale, tap. And now you're going to keep your front knee bent. Keep it where it was and straighten your back leg. Beautiful. Pull your right thigh back towards your hamstring. Stretch your arms long, and then with your exhale, bring your hands to heart center and twist to your left. Try to keep pulling your right thigh towards your right hamstring. Yes, nice, as you lunge deeper. Oh. Notice what your face is doing, your body's doing great. Take a full inhale here, then open up warrior two. It should feel wonderful with the expansion. Inhale, reverse your warrior. And exhale, sweet chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Bend your knees a little bit and feel that you can like point your sit bones up to the sky. Notice the fire in your body. Now, optional, you can add a couple donkey hops here. Yes, what are donkey hops? First of all, I think you could just make them up. But exactly, you're bending your knees and it's like you're trying to kind of kick your butt and your weight comes over your hands. And maybe you get stuck in the air, maybe you don't. About 3 or 4 or 5. Try to land quietly so your downstairs neighbors don't hear you. Yeah, beautiful. Even if you don't have them. Okay. And then walk your feet in between your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release and bow down. Toe heel your feet together. Bend your knees. Drop your booty. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, Samastitihi. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, bring your hands to heart center. And this time, twist with your exhale to the right. And bring your left elbow just right above your knee. You're not touching yet. You want to touch, but you're not. Feel your shoulder blades come down your spine. And then inhale, back to center. Exhale, same thing, other side. So get active with your legs, squeezing together. This will help stabilize your hips. And then find lots of space between your ribs and your hips. And then the thoracic spine turns more. Inhale up to center. Exhale, bow down. Get humble. Inhale, halfway lift. Walk or float. Exhale, I love chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, stretch your right leg up to the sky. Exhale, bend your knee. Let your hips spin open. Take an inhale here, and then with your next exhale, bring your right knee to your left elbow. If you want a little extra, try a push-up. It's totally humbling. Inhale, stretch your right leg long. Yeah. Exhale, step your right foot all the way forward to your right thumb. Rise up, crescent lunge. And with your exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Take a full inhale here. Gain length in your spine, in your waist. And with your exhale, twist to your right. And then hover your left elbow over your right knee. Since this isn't a 2-hour class, now bring your elbow to your knee. Push your hands together and feel that your left elbow is actually helping your right knee track more towards the center. Feel that when you push down on your bottom hand, it allows you to create space and freedom in your chest. So feel, yeah, nice. Feel your shoulder blades come down your back to match your hands. And maybe soften your face because you're so beautiful here. Take a full inhale, and with your exhale, open up warrior two. Inhale, reverse your other way. Ooh, whoopsie. Inhale, reverse your warrior. And then with your exhale, we're going to take our hands into fists and slowly move into half moon. Yeah, I mean, And then if you'd like, place your right hand down on the ground. You can tent your fingers. You can use your water bottle as a block. Tuck your tail so that you're tucking your left buttocks underneath your right hip, flexing your right leg. I'm sorry, that's also your left leg. So you pull your right buttocks underneath your left hip. Now, see if your hands is on the ground, see if you can slide your left hand down your thigh. And then see if you can bend your leg and grab onto your foot. Ah. Just see what's possible here. So this is a variation of candy cane. Oh, yes. Now, gently release your left leg, and with your exhale, bring your left hand down to the ground. Keep stretching your left leg up to the ceiling. Try to bring your breath back to yourself. From Ekapada Uttanasana, you're going to stretch your back leg all the way to the back of your mat. And then you're going to toe heel your right foot to the left. And you're going to come down into half pigeon. Stay lifted here. Want to feel the squeeze into your left kidneys. We're not going all like out into this, just a little bit. Come back to the center so you're not falling onto the right. Now you can either stay here or you can reach back and see if you can hold your left ankle with both your hands. Or just one of your hands. The right hand. If you're going to choose just one. And it can be no hands. What level of effort still allows more freedom and expansion to work in you? You know, often we find ourselves with like too much guts, not enough love, or too much love and not enough guts.
Can it shift during the practice?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Every moment is an opportunity to be absolutely different and do different. It's so true. All right, bring your hands back down. Now, you're going to tuck your left toes under and stretch your right leg all the way up. Yes, wiggle out your leg. Maybe kick your butt a couple of times. It should feel nice. Yeah. We got half the side left. Put your right leg down. Inhale, stretch your left leg up to the sky. Other left leg. Bend your knee, let your hip spin open. Take a full inhale here. Then with your exhale, take your left knee to touch your right elbow. And enjoy a push-up if you want a little bit more. Inhale, stretch your left leg long. Exhale, step your left foot all the way forward to your left thumb. Rise up, crescent lunge. And with your exhale, bring your hands to heart center and twist to your left. Hover your elbow above your knee. And then drop your elbow so you actually bring your right elbow in front of your left knee. Push your palms together to create space in your heart. If you're a little bit more punk rock, you make your bottom hand a fist and you push down on it. Oh, now you all lit up. It's beautiful. Take another full inhale here. Then exhale, open up, warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior. And with your exhale, making fists allows you a little bit more control. Stretch your arms out and float into half moon. You can, the more active you are with your legs, both of them, the lighter the one you're lifted becomes. Now place your left hand on the ground if it isn't there already, or on a block. Nice. Your water bottle works. Now keeping your right leg strong, slide your right hand down your waist, bend your right foot. Knee is actually what you bend. Catch your foot. And then see if you can actually open up your foot. Breathe into it. So it's a little bit, once you can breathe through it, it's true. Maybe a hint of a smile, it might mean you fall over. All right, and then gently release and bring your right hand down to the ground. Stretch your right leg all the way up to the ceiling. And then bring your right foot as far back as you can. And we're going to toe heel your left foot over to the right so we come into half pigeon. So we're not reclining, we're not pouring our chest forward here. We're working a little bit more into the back bend. So re-find your breath. And then maybe reach back either with both hands or with your left hand. Nice. Notice if you can relax your forehead. It's a really advanced part of the practice. So it's a little bit like you want to start noticing, like, when I really tap into the strength more, I have more freedom to open. When I find the base, then I can find a little bit more openness. Nice, just like how our heat helps us open. Bring your back toes back, tuck your toes under, plant your hands, and then sweep your left leg up to the sky. And then relax your left leg down. And walk your feet forward to your hands. And take your feet out about like the mat distance or between hip distance and the mat, and turn your toes out a little bit and squat down. And actually, we're going to do a slight variation here. You're just going to keep your back bent, like it's a version of crone pose, and walk your hands forward and drop your head. And then lift up your head, bring your hands to heart center. Feel the effort. Try to feel like your spine wants to pendulum down. Now interlace your fingers, stretch up and do a baby back bend. And then exhale, come down into goddess. And it's getting a little bright. We might have to go to the floor now. How gracefully can you come down to your mat? Oh, beautiful. And then do a little interpretive dance as you come all the way down. How are we doing with the light? So are you going to survive the light, or shall I close the curtain? Said the girl in the shade. Woman. All right, bend your knees. And let's do a little variation with robot arms today. So you want to push your elbows down to the ground, push your shoulders down to the ground, so you can puff up your chest a little bit. Now, once you've puffed up your chest, created room in your chest, so to speak, then see if you can tuck your tail and slowly start to lift up your hips. Feel that your chest comes back to your face, your knees move away from you, and more, maybe even your shins move towards your toes. And then roll down one vertebrae at a time. Maybe replant your feet. Are they really hip distance, or are they kind of slid out a little bit? And then move your heels a little bit wider out than your toes, so you're kind of pigeon-toed. This is going to help your inner thighs rotate down. And then inhale, push down with your elbows and shoulders, your arms, puff up your chest, create the space, and then roll up one vertebrae at a time. Now, if you're feeling warm and juicy already, you can turn this into full wheel by taking your hands next to your ears, squeeze your elbows together, and first come up to the crown of your head. And then come up all the way, extending your arms. Allow your breath to help you. Being at your edge, playing with your edge means, sometimes you go too far, sometimes you don't go far enough. But so bring your chin to your chest, and everybody slowly come down out of the pose. And this time, slide your feet out so they're as wide as your mat, and just let your knees fall back together. Again, take one hand to your heart, one hand to your belly. Bless you all. All right, 3 is a magic number. You can't really find the middle path without 3. I'm just kidding. All right, slide your feet back in. Now, here's the trick. However far you've gone in your back bend, that's what your next back bend should be, at least. So it's a little bit like pancakes. They get better the more you make. Thank you, Baron, for that lasting quote. All right, find your foundation. Notice where you can effort and strengthen down to create a firmer base, and then start to puff up your chest, roll your hips, and lift up. Go to your edge. Now, once you find your back bend, step your feet closer together and stretch your right leg straight up to the ceiling. Beautiful, Alva. Beautiful, you. What's your face doing? And then switch the legs if you have the little energy left. And if you don't worry. Like, we do things lopsided all day long, and we're fine. The effort to find balance, though, is the health-affirming effort. And then find your way back. Beautifully done. Now, slide your feet out as wide as the mat and let your knees fall back together. Tvättom. Take one hand to your heart, one hand to your belly, and just take a couple moments and feel your heartbeat. Sometimes it takes a couple moments to find it. All right. Now hug your knees to your chest. And roll back and forth on your spine. And on your fifth roll, roll up into Navasana, boat pose. So yogi's choice. Either hold onto your thighs, pull your heart forward, and extend your arms, or extend your legs as well. But keep your heart in it. Yeah? That's what we're building all this strength and courage for. It's so that we can be open with our heart. Bring your chin a little bit to your chest, Neil. Nice, your eyes light up now. Now, it's time for a twist, so go for it. Reach through your fingertips. Let your heart keep lifting. Pull your belly in. Ding! All right, back to center. Exhale, low boat. Oh, yeah. Inhale, high boat. And twist to the other side. Let your hands help you. Reach through your fingertips. What you do with your hands shows up in your heart. And then come back to center. Exhale all the way down. Oh, yeah. Now hug your knees up to your chest. And then open your arms into a T. And see if you can go slower than your neighbor or slower than your cat if you're at home. And take at least 6 counts to bring your knees all the way over to the left. Left. Other left as well. All right, Kala, Gabriel. Oh. It looks like it might have been a tie. How wonderful is that? And then once you find your way into that twist, take a full inhale, and with your exhale, just sigh out. So one of the things we want to learn about ourselves is we're so strong. Oops, that's the wrong way. We're so strong and powerful that we actually are the ones in charge of changing feelings, in charge of changing things in general. So that's why we want to practice breathing in what's hard, what sucks, what's smelly and stinky we don't like, and breathe out what you want to see more of. Again, guts and love, courage and love, Do you have the courage to take in the stuff you don't like so that you can give out what you want to see more of? Hug your knees back to your center. And then, like you're traveling through a sea of molasses, slowly drop your knees to the right. So slow movement builds a different kind of muscle than fast movement. We want both. All right, Sweden's down, the medal goes to Brazil. Once you let your knees drop all the way, take a full inhale, and with your exhale, just sigh out. I think the hardest thing about being a peacemaker is to treat your adversaries like full human beings, even if you don't like their actions or don't like their voting habits or what they stand for. You know, in a way, like anybody can start a fight. But as they would say in the Jewish idiom, it takes a real mensch to be able to make peace. It takes a real human, a full person, to be a peacemaker. Are you working on more courage or more love? Most likely it's both. And then roll back to center. Maybe lift up your face and kiss your knees. Thank you for doing such a great job in your life so far. It's amazing they work as well as they do. And then stretch yourself out into Shavasana. So this posture is the corpse pose. It's again, maybe, you know, it's like the little sister of sleep, since sleep is the little brother of death. So let your body be still, your palms open to receive or resting on your belly, your eyes closed or covered with something. But your attention, your invaluable attention, should remain here, in your body, in the room. That's the practice. With your next inhale, invite your attention back to your edges. Wiggle your toes, your fingers, maybe smile. Think of something that lights up your face. And then find your way rolling onto your right hand side, hugging your knees to your chest. Just feel the vitality in your body, the gifts that you have to share in the world. And then help yourself up into a comfortable seated position. Roots down to the earth to find the freedom to rise up above it. And let's close with one Om. Hands together at heart center. Empty your breath. Take a deep inhale. Bring your prayer hands to your third eye. Invite the divine light. And as we bow forward together, we say, Namaste. And then make some noise. Woo, woo. And thank you so much for your support and participation.